morning, afternoon, good evening, or dead of night as it may be for some of you. Welcome to the Racing Ticket channel. This is Crash with you with our live coverage of qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix. I want to thank everyone who's here right now. We got over a few thousand you watching on YouTube with the good early start. We got a few dozen you on Twitch as it is already. I want to thank Paula, Shay. Who else is here? There's more. Mayaki's here. Three are here just yet. If you're Leviathan's here. There we go. These are the people who've joined the channel and throwing a few bucks each month. They're helping keeping the lights on as we go. Yeah, again, the Race Statistics family, as I call them. Everyone who's subscribed, you're getting 147, 387,000 so far. Right now, yeah, those are the Race Statistics Army. If we were to call the earlier discussion from, we'll leave the lawyering stuff earlier. Anyways, they're the Racing Army, their subscribers. Thank you so much, you guys, and everyone else who race fans. Welcome to our coverage. Again, we're about 2.5 minutes before green light at the end of the pit lane comes on and starts SQ1. Sorry, not SQ1, just Q1. It's not a sprint quality, my God. Q1. 18 minutes on the board for Q1. Here we go. Oh, what time is it in place? It's close to 2300. It's close to 4 p.m., so that'd be 1600, almost 1600 for me. Again, I'm in Central Time, USA. Again, I am an hour ahead of track time. Even to you, John Smith. Let's see what other people are saying at the moment. We just hit 200 likes on YouTube. Thank you so much. That helps us with the algorithm. People cheering for Max, cheering for Lewis. Who else? If you guys want to drop into chat who you are cheering for, go right ahead. Again, Varial, the boss are at 2300 hours, 11 p.m. Why spam G? We get there because you guys are summoning me because it's funny that we use a G instead of an F. Yeah, right now. Again, I don't think there was anything. I don't think there was any documents. Yeah, no, nothing. No one was a bad boy. No one was brought into, the last infringement document was from FP1, and that was Lindbad uh, impeding Pato Ward during that rookie test. Yeah, the last document is document 21, which is P3 classification. So no one at risk of a penalty at the moment so far. We shall see after this session if anything happens. Incidentally, he's in his car, but no tires are on. That's interesting. Looking right now. Right now, looks like Stroll is going to be the first one to come out. I think the timing chart in this case, Stroll and Alonso are going to be first to come out. So got about 10 cent difference between the timing chart being ahead of F1 TV in this case. That's nice to know. We're going to know right away whether or not Alonso's problems have been fixed. Again, he's second on the track at the moment. Gasly, Colpino, and then Ocon, Behrman. So Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, first out the gate, put in banker laps. Again, one of the things that we're going to see today is that that banker laps are going to be important, but also that track evolution is going to be huge. We saw track evolution play out, particularly in FP3, where about 10 minutes before the end of this session, um, basically we saw people set time after time after time. So going last in the order here on these laps, particularly at the end of the session, will be important, particularly if we get into Q3 with the pole at stake. Going Morales, good evening, fellow F1 fans. Good to see, race fans. So several people of you are in the 2300 hour at the moment, Scholastic Turtle. Inosor said he paid €100 to see the race in 2021. It was just before the Parabolica in Monza. That's really cool. So right now, Stroll and Alonso right now are first out. First on their flying laps. They brought the McLaren TV shirt and Danny Ricciardo wins in Monza. Going on again, the Max tiers are now cheering Alonso. So Stroll does the first time 118.815. Alonso does a 117.936. So Stroll is like almost 9/10 back. Gasly's also almost 9/10 back. These guys in the 118, I don't believe that they're. We'll see how things go. I don't think these are good times. Colpino goes a 118.392. I don't think again. I think you've got to be in the 117s to be probably safe. Behrman does 117.765, fastest first and second sector, and he's 171 faster than Alonso. Hogerman was at P7 with a 117.909. He's 144 back. Yeah, the big names haven't really rolled out. Again, Norris and Oscar just crossed the line to start flying laps. They're the ones right now only on the flying laps at the moment. Hamilton started a flying lap. You got Leclerc, Isaacs, Noda, Lawson, Russell, and Albon on outlaps at the moment. So yet to see from Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli, or Sainz, they are still in the pits. Bartolo's last lap, his flying lap was deleted for track limits at turn 12. So he will drop to the bottom without a time. It was a high 118.964. That still wasn't good. So here comes Norris. Norris is going to go top of the board 117.147, fastest first and second sector. Alonso still has the fastest third sector. Here comes Oscar right now. He's going to go P3 behind Behrman. He's going to be 0.703 back on Norris this time. Wow, that's a big gap. Hamilton comes at P4, 744 behind Norris. So there's a big gap. Norris is over 6/10 faster than Behrman, who's P2. Albon's going to come in P3, 6.88. There's a huge gap from P1 to P2 right now. Again, we have not seen, so Matt, we've got Russell's Sonoda now back on an outlap. Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli, and Sainz now on outlaps. I believe that was Albon to P5. Nope, that was Isaac to P3. Lawson now to P3, pushing Isaac to P4. Lawson has the fastest third sector. Lawson comes in 0.311 behind Norris and Isaac 0.403. Clerk Cummins P2, it's 138 behind Norris. So 6 drivers still yet to put times on the board, including Borrello, who had a time deleted. Max now crossing the line to start a flying lap. Sainz is the next one to cross. He'll be doing a flying lap. Norris and Oscar to pit. That leaves Antonelli next across the line. Oscar to pit, then Sonoda to start a flying lap. No, Sonoda's on his flying lap. My apologies. Sonoda comes in P5, 0.522 behind Norris. It's actually not bad right now. Four drivers to set a time right now, with Bordello having a time deleted. So right now, Verstappen is coming through 12, 13, 14 to end the lap. Stroll's on an outlap right now. Sainz going to have to pass Stroll most likely around 15, 17. No, he's not going to. Max is going to come in P3, 159, 117.306 lap time, fastest third sector. Sainz comes in fourth, 214 behind Norris. Stroll already on a new flying lap. We've got 9 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Antonelli is sixth. Right now, we're waiting for Russell at the moment to be the last driver to set a time before we get a reset. And Russell's going to go second, 47,000 behind Norris. So top of the board looks interesting where we've got Sainz, we've got Lawson, Antonelli, Isaac. Tsunoda's in the top 10. Behrman's in the top 10. Albon's 11th. So right now, the driver at risk is Alonso. It's 0.789. I'm going to put Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Oscar all at risk, even Albon at risk, even Behrman at risk, because we're talking about tenths here. Ocon is 0.87 back, and then Colapino is 1.2, Stroll is 1.6, Gasly 1.6. Again, Stroll right now is on a flying lap. Well, right now does not have a time set, having his lap time deleted. Here comes Stroll. Stroll's going to jump up to 13th. That's going to put Alonso in the drop zone, Hulkenberg at risk. Behrman's going to the top of the board, 117.106. Man, Behrman's top of the board. That's interesting. His teammate Ocon just came 286 behind him. It's only 41 thousandths between Norris, 88 to Russell, 179 to Clerk, and 2/10 on the dot to Verstappen. Sainz is only 255. Alonso jumps out of the drop zone. He's 8th, 308. So Stroll's driver at risk. We got Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Colapino, Gasly, and Borletto. They are all on flying laps. So is Leclerc. Gasly goes to 12th. Norris is going to take top of the board, 116.889. First one in the 116. Colapino coming around. He jumps up to 14th. Still somewhat at risk. Oscar's going to jump to 3rd, 259. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton is right now at risk. Hamilton jumps up to 5th. Borletto on flying lap gets to 11th. And actually, this time it's going to stick on the board. Leclerc right now on a flying lap. Goes to 2nd, 125 behind Norris. Here comes Hulkenberg. He only goes up to 18th, so he's still at risk. So as it stands right now, our driver at risk is Gasly, 173 back. Sonoda, 77. It's 1,000 difference between 771, 772 between Sonoda, Colapino, Hulkenberg right now. Albon is 0.9 back and 9.3 back, and Stroll is 9.7 back. So those are the driver at risk is Gasly. In the drop zone of Sonoda, Colapino, Hulkenberg, all separated by 1/10 each, and then Albon and Stroll 0.9 back. That does put Isaac, Antonelli somewhat within range of B. They are at risk of being dropped out. So it's going to be a very tight line between who's in and who's out. I'd almost put Lawson, Borrell, Alonso being above half a second at risk as well. We'll probably see someone in the top 10 come out as well. But we'll see. We've got 5 minutes and 46 seconds left to go in this session. We're looking at track clearing right now so that they can pit, reset the cars, make any changes they might need. Oscar over the radio saying that he thought the car was better on the second attempt. Max Verstappen is coming out of the pit, so he will be the first to do what will probably be, depends if he goes around twice, but it's most likely he's in, and so Max and Tsunoda are coming out. Albin had gone around. I did not expect that. So he gets out of the drop zone. He's 1.591. So that puts Isaac at risk. Gasly, Tsunoda, Colapino, Hulkenberg, Stroll are now in the drop zone. Isaac is on a flying lap right now. Did not expect him to stay out. And Lawson's out on a flying lap, looks like as well. Yes, both of them are on flying laps. They're doing well in Sector 2. Some traffic, Max and Tsunoda. Hopefully they look like they got out of the way pretty easily for their sister team. Isaac right now coming to turn 13 to the last curves. 14, 15, 16, 17 to the line. Norris is out, Stroll is out, Antonelli out, Sainz out on track. So these are open. Isaac goes to the top of the board, 116.733, fastest second and third sector. Here comes Lawson. Lawson's been performing well. He goes P3 with a 116.961. So the Racing Bulls are in the mix here for the top of the board. They're definitely moving on to Q2. So Max right now starting his flying lap. Sainz is on an out lap. Gasly and Colapino just came out. Tsunoda starting his flying lap. He is in the drop zone. So is Gasly, Colapino. Borrell and Hulkenberg are coming out. So all the drivers in the drop zone are there. Albin just set a time. I'm still in the pits. Borrell is out. Alonso's still in the pits. So there we go. Norris right now at the end of his out lap. See if he comes right in. Doing a snack, peanuts, corn, and that stuff. Cracker Jacks is what you're eating. Comes Norris. He is going to start a flying lap. Hamilton is coming on track. So is Russell and Behrman. Comes Max. Max goes P5 on the board. So the racing bulls are ahead of Red Bull right now. Tsunoda coming across the line. He jumps to P9, so he's clearly going to be safe out of this so far. 2 minutes left to go in this session right now. We've got Oscar Leclerc coming out. Alonso is out, and so is Albon. Albon yet to leave. It's Alonso. Alonso's further there. So Albon looks like he's going to be the last person to do a flying lap. He's right now 15, the driver at risk. Barlow starting a flying lap. Hulkenberg starting a flying lap. Ocon starting a flying lap. Behrman is next across the line. He will be starting a flying lap. Then it's Norris and Russell. Norris will probably pit. Russell probably should pit. No, he's going to do a flying lap. Norris stays out. I don't know why Norris is staying out, but yet there it is. Being a moving chicane for Russell. Stroll goes up to 17th. He is going to be out of Q3. I mean Q1. Comes into Nelly, and Nelly jumps up to 11th. So Barrel is at risk. Albon is in the drop zone right now. Here comes Sainz. Sainz is 12th, goes to 8th. Max is pitting. He's 5th on the board. Here comes Gasly. Gasly goes to 17th. Gasly's out. Clerk going around is going to start flying lap. Barrel is going to move to 14th. Here comes Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg goes up to 11th. Barrel is at risk. Here comes Ocon. Ocon right now is 14th. He goes up to 3rd. Here comes his teammate Behrman. Behrman right now is 7th. He moves up to 6th. Colpino is pitting. Colpino is out. Something happened on his lap and he had to abandon it. Time has expired. Russell's going up to 2nd. So right now we've got Borletto, driver at risk. He's out. Hamilton goes to 2nd. I'm trying to see who is anyone making any progress. I think Alonso right now is the driver in the drop zone. He's next across the line. If he gets above, he can drop Borletto. And he goes to 13th. That does drop Borletto. And I think Albon is the last one. He could potentially drop Antonelli. Comes Albon right now. He's coming around 15 to 16, around 17 to the line. And he goes. Does not improve in his time. Does not improve. So we've got Barlow, Albon, Gasly, Stroll, and Colpino are the 5 who are going to be knocked out in Q1. And that is Q1 for you. Stroll is my dark horse. Stroll just went out and is P19. Did Isaac really have a good lap, or the other? He did have a great lap. He did it. He's 3,000 faster than Hamilton. He's 162. I mean, like, let's put this perspective. Isaac is first, and Lawson is second. Ocon is 5th, and Behrman is 8th. That puts Max down in 9th. So we've got some wild. I mean, we've got wild contention here. We've got teams that we normally don't see in the top, up in the top 10. And we've got Isaac in the top number 1 and Ocon 5th. So this is going to be a crazy. Colpino's lap time was deleted, so that's ultimately why he didn't do anything. Why he pitted, he didn't finish the lap because his lap time was deleted. Turn 3, lap 9, 15, 16. And that was about 4 minutes ago when he would have done his fast lap. So this is Q1. Barlow, Albon, Gasly, Stroll, Colpino out in Q1. Again, this is Race 66 channel. This is Grash with our coverage of qualifying for the Mexican City Grand Prix. Everyone went out on soft tires, so that's interesting. Norris used a used soft tire, so did Leclerc and Verstappen and Alonso. Stroll did as well, but that, as it looks right now, those, It is what it is. I thought Sardaskic turtle basically was eating a sweet object, not a savory object. That's interesting. Yeah, the entire grid is under 1 second. That is to point out the cut line ended up being 0.558 for Antonelli. So we were, Sonoda is 501. So, I mean, Alonso was 499. I mean, 2,000 difference between those two. I mean, we're looking at under 4 tenths is going to be the gap most likely. We've just reset it for qualifying Q2. So there Q1 incidents involving Oscar, Hulkenberg, Sonoda, Sainz, Borello, failing full race direction instructions. This is probably max delta time. They're gonna note it. They'll investigate after the session, and when after Q3, they'll be like, nah, nothing else here. A lot of traffic in Q3, but I don't see any investigations for impeding so far. I just want to point out that we do have a couple things going on. We do have a prediction going on at the moment. Drop that into chat for you guys. The other thing that I do want to point out, again, we're also being our stream is broadcasted on totalmotorsports.com. That's total-motorsports.com is the website. I can put those in the chat for you guys as well. I want to thank them for sponsoring us this weekend. They've got a great website there. Again, they've got good number. They cover more than F1. They do cover Formula E. They cover NASCAR and IndyCar. They also have a good number of interviews as well across all of those. Again, across F1 and those other series as well. You saw the scroll that blocks the track. I don't know what scroll is blocking the track. The scroll is down by my by the channel icon. And we're now just starting Q2 right away. Looks like the Racing Bulls are out on track. Glass of water when you're done. We have a popcorn poll on Twitch right now. Do you like it salt or sweetie? Salt, sweetie, or mix them? Alonso is next on track as well as Hulkenberg. So it's going to be a few minutes before we get times on the board. Science, looking at decision documents. No documents have been posted yet. Someone's saying that George Science did a George Russell crash into Antonelli. I didn't see anything on race control. So Isaac is starting a flying lap. Lawson's starting a flying lap. And they are on new soft tires. Hamilton's on a used, so is Ocon, but they only did 3 laps. Clerk on new soft, Behrman on used. Max and Sainz on new soft, and we've got Alonso on used. Norris is coming out. We don't know what his tire is yet. It's a soft. It's a new soft. Hulkenberg's on a new soft tire. Hulkenberg's starting his flying lap right now. Oh, you're talking about last race. Okay. Wish you had mentioned that when you posted. Hamilton's starting flying lap now. Antonelli's coming out. So is Russell. Isaac's going to be doing a 117.137. That's really good. That's a good lap. Here comes Lawson. He's next. He's got the fastest first sector. Faster. And he's going to come into the pits. So something happened wrong into that lap with Lawson. He was on track for a very good lap. Max fastest first sector. Hulkenberg fastest second sector. Again, Isaac has the fast third sector from his previous lap. Hulkenberg coming to finish the lap. He's going to go top of the board, 117, 106. Sainz is next across. He is starting a flying lap. Alonso is finishing his lap. He's going to go P3. It's a 117.820, so it's 8/10 behind Hulkenberg. Hamilton goes P2, 72 behind Hulkenberg. Norris starting a flying lap. Max right now is finishing his lap. Ooh, what happened with Max? Max goes to the top of the board. There was a moment there he had yellows on his sector chart. But he ends up at 116.824, so he is 192 faster than Hulkenberg. He's the first one in the 116s in this Q2. Leclerc goes faster, 166 faster. So he's the second in the 116. Yeah, Alonso's already a second off. This is definitely Not a good place to be. Tsunoda it comes in 361. Alcon's going to come in 868. Behrman seventh, 744. Again, these are on used soft tires. Leclerc, Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda have an advantage with, and it's now Sainz with new soft tires. Sainz comes in 1/10 behind Leclerc. Um, what just happened? Is Oscar up to ninth? Uh, Russell to ninth, 117.137. He's 0.885. That's not a good lap time. Again, I think we were looking at 0.5, point 0.4 is probably what we think was the cut line is going to be. Norris just jumped everyone 116, 1252. So it's a low 116. Lawson is the only one who has not set a time so far. 8 minutes to go in this session. Again, we're going to see people cycle in before we go. Right now, Oscar's the driver at risk. Bierman, Ocon, Alonso, Antonelli, and Lawson are in the drop zone. Lawson has not set a time. Oscar's the first one above a second. Again, there's a four tenths gap from Norris to Leclerc. Take into account here. Again, Oscar's at a 117, 282, and Hulkenberg is the first, is the one lowest in the 117, 117. So P5 to P10 are about 2.5 quarter of a second between 5 and 10th. Lawson and Isaac are the first ones out to go again. Yeah, lorry is the British word for a truck, effectively. Do you remember? No, Max is still the Max is in fourth right now. I mean, right now we're looking to see who gets into Q3. So here we go. We've got Isaac and Lawson basically with clean air right now. No traffic for these flying laps. So this is the risk reward is that they get clean air, no traffic, but they don't get the advantage of a track evolution. But they could go around. Again, we only got 5 minutes and 20 seconds left. They could finish these laps, go around again, and do another flying lap. Lawson's hitting about 240 in the zone, the 245, 250. So Lawson's about 250 in that zone. Isaac's going to jump up to fourth. He's 0.552 behind Norris. Again, there's a 4/10 jump between Norris and Leclerc, P1, P2. So from Leclerc, it's only 152 thousandths, effectively. Lawson, something's going on with Lawson. What is going on with him? He just pitted again. Lawson still has not set a time. He has good 27.5, 29.8. I mean, it's been a few tenths off, but still, I mean, what's going on with Lawson? He still has not set a time. He's coming into the pits. He's going to have to come. He might not set a time in Q2. He's now at risk of not setting a time at Q2 because he's got to deal with the line coming out of pits. Hulkenberg is so Isaac's the first one to come to across the line again. He's on an out. Let me see. Is he going to pit? He's going to pit. So Hulkenberg is going to be the next across the line, followed by Max. They are all on. These are everyone out on outlaps at this point. Ocon is next on an outlap. Behrman on an outlap. Hamilton on an outlap. Antonelli, 14th on an outlap. So here, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Ocon already on their flying laps. Again, we've got Alonso and Oscar coming out of the pits right now. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this session. So Lawson is getting out with 2 minutes and 40. So he is, okay, so I was a little I thought the line was going to be bigger, but he does get back out. Lawson is on used soft tires. Only 3 laps, though. Fresh for Ocon, Behrman, Alonso, Antonelli, Russell, Hamilton. These are all on fresh tires. Tsunoda on fresh tires. Hulkenberg on fresh tire. Verstappen on fresh tires. Isaac on 3 laps. So he pitted. Leclerc on 3 laps. Norris now starting a flying lap on fresh. Here comes Hulkenberg. Hulk does not improve his position. He does not improve. So he's at 6. Verstappen goes to P2, 135. Sorry, 352. Sorry, 353. Ocon to 8th. Behrman to 5th. Hamilton right now is in the drops as a driver at risk. Russell, Oscar, Alonso, Antonelli, Lawson are at risk. Hamilton to P2. Antonelli is 14th coming across the line. He goes to 8th. Oscar's next. 13th goes to... Oscar's out. No, Oscar's starting a flying lap. Russell goes to P3. Lawson starting a flying lap. Russell finished, again, Russell P3. Sainz goes up to P5. Norris, is he going to do another lap? Norris could do another lap here. See what happened. He was just on an out lap. Leclerc right now coming to the line. This is a flying lap. This is not an improvement. It's not. He's 2/10 off his previous best lap. Tsunoda right now 12th. So this is, if he doesn't make it, it will be cut. He goes to 10th, pushes Ocon and Hulkenberg. So Ocon and Hulkenberg are out. Here comes Alonso. Alonso 14th. He goes to a 13th, so that he is going to be out. So we're looking at Oscar and Lawson are the 2 drivers at risk here. The last drivers in the drop zone who have not finished. Oscar is 7th. That puts Tsunoda into the drop zone. And so we're looking at Lawson right now. He's about to come to the line. He does not make it. He only gets to 50. He stays at 15th. He's 1.8 off. So we've got Tsunoda, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Lawson being eliminated in Q2. Isaac makes it into Q3. Behrman gets it in. Antonelli gets in. Oscar gets in. Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, and Norris. Mercedes and McLaren are the only two that have. Yeah, there are only two teams that have two drivers in Q3. No, Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren are the only. Sorry, it's three teams. So we got one from Redwood, one from Williams, one from Haas, one from the Racing Bulls. So again, this is the Racing 60 channel. You're listening us to our live coverage of quali. We just finished Q2. Again, the drivers eliminated in Q2 are going to be Sonoda, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Alonso, and Lawson. Into Q3 in order of time is going to be Norris, Hamilton, Russell, Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Oscar, Antonelli, Behrman, and Isaac. No, Behrman is in Q3. Yeah, I don't know. And um we didn't get any lap times deleted, so that this is where things are going to stand. Again, I want to thank Total Motorsports. Again, their website is total-motorsports.com. Drop their website into chat. And then we do have our predictions going on. Talk about that one moment. There's the chat for you as well. Behrman is considered the most consistent rookie besides Isaac. I'd throw Antonelli. Antonelli is up there as well. He does have the advantage of being in a Mercedes car, so he has scored more points. But again, I wouldn't you wouldn't be harsh to say. I mean, I agree with both Isaac and Behrman being consistent. Behrman sounds sus because, well, that's his name. Yeah, I do want to really just remind you guys that we are an English language community. We don't have mods for other languages. That's the only reason why we're this way. If we did have mods, if we did have mods, we would be more. I'd be happy to have you guys talking other languages if we had mods. I just don't. Who? Should be only a few moments now. Again, we're waiting for the board to set up for Q3. So it'll be about a minute or a few minutes from now. We'll start up with Q3. Oh, we've got the Max haters in chat now. Interesting. Okay, what you guys are saying it now. Came up hard to prove you're innocent, but tell me, I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about. I was not paying attention to you as that Q2 came to the end. Some sort of fight is going on with you guys. Oscar qualified and finished P8 last year. So that was last year. Twitch chat's much nicer. That's why I'm here. Yeah, Twitch chat is much cooler. It's not. You guys have less people. It's less volume. Just a hater, I think. Oh boy. And we can gamble our points. Yeah, you can gamble your points. I think there was a gamble system, but we didn't use it very much over on YouTube. So not a big deal. They're illusionary points with nothing against them. You don't tell people to shut up. I gotta put people in timeout now. You guys. So 12 minutes on the board for Q3. We're about waiting for that green light to come on. How did Austin's performance suddenly drop in the past few GPs? Part of it, I mean, when we look at Austin, part of that is that his car was damaged. Again, I need to remind people that we're an English language community. I'm going to have to start, you know, deleting or removing messages that are not in English. My apologies. We just don't have mods. No one crashed. Still, Q3 has not started. Answering your questions, comments in chat right now. No, someone in YouTube chat said it asked someone crashed. No one. They were waiting for Q3 to start. Frank Zero says that Nebraska is seldom consistent. I actually disagree with you, and he thinks Norris as well. No, they were consistent. Before we got to the summer break, they were very consistent with winning and being. Yeah, they were very consistent. So I mean, they've already won the constructors championship with several races to go. Max Verstappen's going to be the first one out. So we've waited about a minute already as Q3 has already started. We're already a minute past the start time when Max has come out. Norris will be second, and sorry, Behrman second, Norris third, out on track to start. End up being champ, very good chance. Yeah, I mean, he's second. With like what 14, 15 points behind Oscar at the moment, and then we got Max 40 points back. So it is a fight. It's a legit fight. 10 minutes ago in the session, we've gone 2 minutes already into the session. We're waiting for Max to come around on this out lap again. They waited a minute before they sent people out. Everyone seems to be on fresh softs right now, except for Russell. He's on three laps used soft, so he went on once. No, it's fresh softs for Russell. Behrman and Antonelli, and Isaac are on used softs. Science on used softs. So Max is starting his flying lap. Behrman has gone. Norris is next across the line, and then we'll get Oscar in a few seconds. Sainz, Isaac, Hamilton are next to do cross the line, though we'll see as things go as Max goes on his flying lap. End of Sector 1, Max is 27.148. This is going to be the top four. Again, we did see a 10th faster in Sector 1 in Q2. Norris is 300ths, so 30 thousandths behind Max. So we're all within tenths of each other. Oscar is 2 tenths off. Behrman 4 tenths off. Sainz 2 tenths off. Isaac's time. Isaac's 4 tenths off. Here comes Hamilton, and so Max does a 116.45. Behrman is a second off. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton's Sector 1 time, fastest Sector 1 time. Leclerc has the fastest Sector 1 time. Norris goes top of the board, 116.170. So Max is 285 off at the moment. Oscar comes to P3 behind Max, 299. We're going to see Sainz and Isaac, and then Hamilton cross the line, and then Leclerc. Sainz goes fourth, 8 tenths back. Isaac goes fifth. He is 1 second back. Again, Sainz and Isaac are on used tires. Hamilton on new tires, 2 tenths back on Norris. Leclerc to the top of the board, 115.991. Did we see any 115? I think we did in Q2. Not in Q2, in pre-practice 2. So Leclerc first in the 115s today. To 179 faster than Norris. So then we got Russell 6th, Antonelli 7th, Sainz 8th, Isaac 9th, and Behrman 10th. Everything looks good. We've got 6 minutes left to go on this clock. Max is coming into pit, so again, there will be a pit out game that they're going to play. Again, Leclerc was the last one to do his lap, so he got track evolution benefits. Yeah, Brian thinks that Josh Verstappen is bad for Max. I mean, it's his dad. A little hard to that's a very loaded statement. So you may not like Josh Verstappen, but it's hard to argue that his dad is bad for his son. Let's be honest. Um, Kenzo, you're gonna have to repost your message. My apology. I clicked the wrong button for you. But Josh Verstappen has the ability to say things that Max cannot, and get away with things that Max cannot. So. We've got Sid thinking for a Norris pole at the moment. He currently is second, 179 behind Leclerc. Leclerc currently on the procedural pole. So we're all right now waiting for the game of chicken to end, and then people start coming out onto track. We're at under 5 minutes now, so we'll be about a month within the next minute that this game of chicken is gonna end. And right now, it is a question of who is going to go out first onto track. We're at 4 minutes to go in this session. As long as FinFan over in Twitch chat says, as long as Matt qualifies higher than Oscar, I am happy. You sir would be in line with all the Maxiteers over in YouTube chat with something like that. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. We have no one's out yet. Here goes Max. Bierman's going to be the first one onto track. Oscar's going to be second. Bierman's 10th. He's 1.4 back. Oscar is 5th, 4.78 back. Max is going to be third onto track. When Max Verstappen will retire, Red Bull will be completely cooked. No, there'll be a period of transition. I mean, it's the same thing that happened, from Vettel to Max. There'll be a period of transition where they're going to try and find who's the next their number one driver. Oh, you're not blaming me for rooting. You rooted for Max all on your own. You can't blame that on me. They just started coming out on track. Science is fourth, Isaac fifth, Norris Isaac fifth, Norris sixth, Hamilton, Leclerc, who's in, and then yeah, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who's not? Antonelli. Clerk is on track, so they're all on track. So Behrman, here is Behrman coming around. Is he gonna go? Oscar's gonna go. Okay, we got a minute 35. They're not going to have time to do a flying lap and then come back around. So Bierman is on his flying lap. Oscar's on his flying lap. Map. So this is it. Max is on the flying lap right now. Sainz, Isaac, Norris are going to next ones across the line, but these are to start flying laps. And then it would be Hamilton and Leclerc. Russell's going to be the last one to cross the line to start a flying lap. Bierman is in sector 2 right now. Max starting sector 2 now. Sainz right now cooking in sector 1. Does a 27.013. That's the same time as Leclerc. That's why it's not purple. Isaac is a 27.198. Verstappen is a 27.049. Oscar does a 27. Norris does under 26.9, so he's got a big jump. Out a 10th on everyone at the moment. Oscar's going to finish P3. Bierman ends up P6. Here comes Max. Did a very good lap so far. Max comes in P2, 79,000 behind Leclerc. Here comes Sainz. Sainz comes in P4. We've got Isaac, currently P10. He jumps to P6. Norris right now, currently P3 on purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Goes a purple lap, positional pole, 115.586. Hamilton did not improve in sector 1, did not improve in sector 2, goes P2, 352 right now. Leclerc, Antonelli, Russell, the last three to set times. Leclerc goes P2, Antonelli going around 16 to 17. Russell, Antonelli then goes P5. Russell's left. So coming around 17. And that's going to be to P4, and that's going to be it. That is our Norris is going to take pole. Leclerc second, Hamilton third, Russell fourth, Verstappen fifth, Antonelli sixth. That's going to put Oscar on the fourth row with Sainz seventh, Oscar eighth, and then Isaac and Behrman on the fifth row. Again, Norris taking pole. This is going to be huge right now for the champion fight, just within the McLaren team, with Norris first and Oscar eighth. Leclerc Hamilton second, third. That's pushing, and Russell fourth. That's pushing Max to fifth. This is going to be huge. Max, we're going to have to see what Max does during the race tomorrow. But this is going to be huge for the championship fight with Oscar in eighth. So. That is our coverage for qualifying. We have set our grid, and we have Norris on pole, Clark second, Hamilton third, Russell fourth, Verstappen's fifth, Antonelli sixth. This is crazy. I mean, Sainz, Oscar's in eighth. So this is going to be big tomorrow with the grid mixed up as it is. Again, Ferrari getting in second, third. So they've got a fight on their hands with Norris right away. Crash is this real? I don't see Ferrari depression here. No, you should be happy, my friend. Again, we have a link up for predictions. I think it's just before race starts. Ultimately, basically it's up until like before race starts, we close it off. I also want to thank Total Motorsports for sponsoring us today. Again, it's total-motorsports.com. Again, they're a great F1 resource. Several interviews that you should be looking at. So, I want to thank the family, the Race Six Army, and all you race fans who are here. We will see you tomorrow for the race itself. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. We will see you for the race itself.